Hey, Matt, Red Ritter Fits here. All right, standard disclaimer. Any weapons, firearms that you see me handling, showing you, taking apart, whatever form or fashion that I am doing it, unless I am on the range about to fire the firearm, in which case, hopefully, those videos are coming soon. Um, these guns have been cleared by me. I've already cleared them before the video. I know what's unloaded. I do not have time frankly, I only have one camera. So I don't have different ways that I can point this camera that I can show you. Um, if I had 3 different cameras and they were all different angles, it would make this a lot easier on me. And that way I could visibly clear a firearm every time I picked it up, as is my general habit. And videos are a little bit different. So I'm making this disclaimer just to tell you that, whatever you see me handling here on these videos has been cleared by me. Sometimes they're brand new out of the box. If you see a rifle come out of the box and it's still got the chamber indicator in it, well, that's indicating to me that, the gun is unloaded in the first place, because most firearms now, when they come out of the box, they're going to have some kind of a chamber indicator, or in the case of, say, a revolver, it's going to have a yellow or orange spacer in front of the cylinder to indicate that the firearm is not loaded. So in any event, please just bear with me and know that for the expediency of the video, I'm not visibly clearing the firearm every time I pick it up. As an instructor, I understand that safety is 100% important. As a matter of fact, some of the videos we even talk about different safety issues or problems that have come about. So it's not something that's new to me. It's not something I do on purpose. It's just for the sake of the videos. I cannot visibly clear everything in a way that would make everybody happy. Not that I can make everybody happy when I'm doing these videos anyway. So I just got to do what I can do. So anyway, I just want to let you know that everything is clear and safe, and there's no need for you to be concerned. I know in some of these videos, like when I do a handgun video, there's a lot of times I'll turn this thing around and point it and let you see from the camera's perspective the rear sights. Well, that means obviously the thing's pointing back at me, and I'm not making a big effort to move out of the way because I'm trying to do this video, and that's the way that I can see it. So if that disturbs you, then I apologize in advance, but that's just it. That's the way I can, that's the way these are, and that's the way I can do it. So I'm doing the best I can with what I got. In any event, these firearms that you see me handling here are safe. They have been cleared by me, and there is no need to be that concerned. So anyway, just wanted to get that out of there. This applies to all my videos, and unfortunately, just to prevent any further, commentary on the matter, you'll probably see this disclaimer at the beginning of every video I do. So this is 3 minutes of your life you ain't going to get back. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you watching, and continue on to the main course. Defense here. How's it going? Today we're going to look at something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, I suppose, because it's something that I've always liked. This is the Ruger Blackhawk. It's a limited edition from Lipsey's, which is one of my distributors. It's a Bisley series. It is a flat top mid-size frame 41 Magnum revolver. So this is old school week, I suppose, at Red Root Defense. Before we get into that, first, my general disclaimer. What you see here is my opinion, and it is not influenced by anybody other than me and whoever managed to influence me when I was growing up, namely my parents and my experiences, other people that I might have known. But anyway, my point is, nobody's sending me anything for free. I'm not getting any of this stuff to do reviews on. Everything you see here was either mine personally, or it belongs to a customer that's being worked on, or it's bought by the shop and it's for sale, unless I say something specifically different. yeah, I'm not getting any freebies, and you don't have to worry about anybody tempting me. Of course, if somebody wants to start sending me stuff, I won't have a problem with it. I mean, I'll be happy to use it, but I can't guarantee you that I will give you a good review just because it was free. You know what I mean? So, anyway, get that out of the way. Like I said, today we're going to look at this Ruger. And I love Rugers. I love Blackhawks. I love single action revolvers. I'm a revolver guy from way back. I would rather shoot a revolver any day of the week than anything else. And that's just the way it is. That's just me. One big reason is because I don't have to pick up brass, and I kind of like that. But this is not new. This came out some months ago. I've sat down and do this video like half a dozen times and just never really got one that I liked. Never finished it for one reason or another, and I'm back to it, and I need to get these finished and done. This is actually going to be like a 3 or 4 part series, not all about this one revolver, but just in general principle for a lot of different things that we're going to be talking about. So, you know, just kind of stay tuned. It's kind of a neat thing that I'm working on here. First things first, this Ruger revolver. I cheated already. I took it out of the box. All right, so here's the box. Y'all have probably seen these kind of boxes before. I mean, I don't have a problem with this box. On the one hand, this is a whole lot better box than any cardboard box that I've gotten. And if you've watched my videos before, you've probably heard me say it. If I could pay a little bit extra for a gun that has a good case versus a cardboard box, I will do it. Because I hate cardboard boxes. I hate them for shipping. I know they're cheap and they're ridiculous and they fall apart and they're just irritating as crap. I would pay more if everything had a decent case. So let's say decent case. I will say this is not a bad case. It is hard plastic. It opens up like this. This is what it looks like when you open it up. Every gun comes in plastic. And also comes with the obligatory lock. So let's throw that out of the way. So this is what this box looks like when you get it. So the good and the bad. The good is at least it's a good plastic box. The good is at least it has some nice foam on one side. The bad is it ain't got no foam on this side. Come on, people. You know, get a grip. I'm not going to put my nice brand new revolver on this flipping plastic hard case. Without doing something to it first. I mean, certainly it won't cost you that much to get another piece of foam and mold it so that it fits in this part of the case. This is just ridiculous. So I appreciate the effort. I really do. And I don't want to be snotty about it, but I guess I am being snotty about it. I appreciate the effort, but a little bit more effort is required. Thank you very much. To make this case a little bit better. So on this case, like I said, you have this piece of foam on this side. Your manuals and everything fit in here. And I've already taken those out. Out of the way. Ta-da, here it is. This is your manual. Notice, it's not too much to it. There's a lot of stuff in there. If you have a manual, please take a minute, read it. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you don't have a manual, call the manufacturer, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, whoever it may be. I'm sure they'll be happy to send you one. You may be able to find it online. Just take a minute and do that, please, because it's worth reading. There's all kinds of stuff in here that's worth reading. Operating information, troubleshooting, etc. So please take a few minutes and read the manual. Familiarize yourself with it before you start messing around with whatever you've got. In this particular one, first things first, you got some stickers. You got some 75th anniversary stuff. You got a coupon for shopruger.com, which is a neat place to shop. You got all kinds of good information in here. Also, you have one of these. And you may or may not have seen this before. And I hope this thing isn't backwards. I hope you can read this. Do you own a Ruger Blackhawk, single six, or Bearcat revolver like this? This is an old model to an old model conversion chart. What is an old model? What is conversion? What does that mean? It makes it safer. Ruger will do it for free. So we'll cover this. Don't worry. This is one of the many things we'll be covering in this series of videos. So we're going to get into this. If you don't know what this is, stay tuned. You'll get to know. Anyway, there's your manual. Check it out. All right, let's get down to the nuts and bolts. Here it is. The Ruger Blackhawk Bisley Series Flat Top 41 Magnum revolver. Isn't that pretty? It's just flipping pretty. Let me turn it over so you can see that. Hopefully you can read all that. Now let's get to the specs since we're stopping gawking at it, I guess. All right, this is stainless steel. Obviously, they do make a blued version. Now, right now, I cannot tell you for sure that this is still in production. I haven't verified it. But they did make a blued version and they made a stainless version. So I just happened to get the stainless version because that's what I get my hands on first. All right, they were made in limited quantities and I don't know the numbers. But anyway, so this is stainless. This has a 5.5-inch barrel. This is obviously the Bisley series, if you know what that is, and stay tuned because that's another thing we're going to talk about here. Rosewood, standard rosewood grips. It's a flat top, which is yet another thing we're going to talk about, with adjustable sights on the rear, target sights on, your standard black top target sights on the front. This is a 5.5-inch barrel. The gun is a foot long. It's 12 inches. The official measurement is 12 inches from heel to toe. It's 46 ounces, and that's unloaded. So it is not for the faint of heart. I would imagine that once you load it, you're going to get up to 4 pounds, a little over 4 pounds, 48 ounces. So you're going to need a good holster, folks. Ain't no doubt about that whatsoever. You're going to need a good holster and a good belt. But it's well worth it to me. This is going to be, I have no doubt, one of the better shooting revolvers that I'm going to have. And I'll admit it, I bought this because I liked it. It is actually in the shop's inventory, but I'm 99.9% positive it's going to make its way to my personal inventory before too long. Simply because this is my kind of thing. This is what I like. So, this is a single action revolver. What does that mean? If you don't know, I'm not going to assume that everybody knows what a single action revolver is. A single action revolver is a revolver where, number one, it's a revolver because you see the cylinder, it revolves as we go. Single action means the hammer right here has to be cocked, pulled back every single time you want to shoot it. When you pull the trigger, the hammer goes forward, and that particular round is done. Nothing else is going to happen. So I could be sitting here with this thing completely loaded, pulling the trigger like the dickens, and nothing really is going to happen because there's nothing, to happen. The hammer has to be cocked every single shot. That's what a single action is. I said, well, what's the difference? Well, what other action do we have? Well, we have a double action. Put this down. This is a Ruger Red Hawk, which is a double action revolver. So that means I can shoot it one of two ways. I can either, let's take this out. It is unloaded. Everything that I'm showing you is unloaded. I may not show you that it's unloaded strictly for video purposes, but I've already double checked everything, and I will double check them as necessary. But anyway, this is the double action revolver. That means I can either A, pull the hammer back and pull the trigger, or I can just pull the trigger directly because you see the hammer. As I pull this trigger back, it rotates the cylinder, pulls the hammer back, and fires. So they've got two different ways to fire it. That's what's called double action. So what other differences between a double action and a single action? On a double action revolver, you usually have a cylinder latch in one spot or another, somewhere in here. You push this latch, the cylinder comes open. This is how you load and unload the revolver. You got 6 shots. Some have 8, some have 9, some have 5. It just varies. In this case, this is a 6 shot. So I would take my 6 cartridges and put 1 in each chamber. And then I would just flip this shut. And then I am loaded and I am ready to go. So I can either pull the trigger, like I said, and shoot it this way, or I can pull the hammer back and shoot it this way. So what happens after I've shot all 6 times or all 8 times or whatever I got? How do I unload it? So to unload it, you press this cylinder latch. The cylinder comes out. You have this behind the cylinder. See how this comes out? That's the ejector rod. And when you push it in, it will eject the brass, the spent cartridges that remain in the cylinder, because they don't automatically come out when you shoot them. In a semi-automatic pistol, most of the time when you pull the trigger, there's a function that occurs that extracts the fired piece of brass from the chamber. And there's another function that occurs that throws it out. In a revolver, you don't have that. You have to do it manually. So that's how a double action works. Single action is a little bit different. Obviously, you don't have a cylinder latch here. What you have on a single action revolver is what's called a loading gate. And this loading gate is right here. You see that little piece right there? That's where your thumb goes. So you have to open the loading gate. This particular revolver, I have not removed the little yellow safety, the little yellow latch, whatever you call that thing. So let me pull one. Let me try another one. This is one out of my personal collection that's very similar to the one we're looking at now. So let's see, when you push this loading gate open, you see you can rotate the cylinder, and you can see every chamber on this one is empty. But if I had just fired 6 rounds, there would be your brass, your spent brass, your spent cartridge, your empty hole would be in here in the chamber. So go back here to this side. See this thing? It's got a spring in it. This is called the ejector rod. So what this does, when you push this spring, you can't, I don't think you can see it. You can see it. There it goes. When you push this button, pushes the ejector rod back, it goes through the chamber in the cylinder, and it hits this spent brass that's in there and kicks it out. So every time you shoot 6 rounds or you just want to reload it, you find your empty piece, work your ejector rod, and that kicks out your brass. Then you're unloading your cylinder, and then you can load some more rounds. Then you just close your loading gate, and you're good to go. And when you pull the hammer back, you're automatically rotating the cylinder so that you're firing 1 round at a time. So that is how a single action revolver works. And if you've never done it, it takes some practice, but once you've done it for a while, you get used to it. Sometimes you can even unload and reload just at speeds that would seem incomprehensible to others. I mean, I'm not always that fast because I'm not in a hurry. I don't know what I would be like if I was actually in a hurry or under pressure. I don't know if I'd really screw it up or not, because I've never really been that way. But with practice, it gets to be automatic. You just do it without thinking about it. So that's how a single action revolver works versus a double action. So we've covered that. That's something that I did want to cover in these videos. So, like I said, this is a single action revolver. Take another look at it real quick. Now, looking at this, several questions come to mind. The first question is, if you look at it, you can see it where it says Ruger, 41 Magnum caliber, new model Blackhawk. Well, I guess the first question that comes to mind here is, what is 41? What is a 41 Magnum, and where did that come from? And why does it say new model Blackhawk? What is an old model Blackhawk? Those are good questions. And what we're going to do is split this up into several different videos so everything's not so long. So if you would, stay tuned for part number 2 of this series, which is going to be what exactly is 41 Magnum and why do I care? Part 3, we're going to talk about what's a flat top, what's an old model, what's a new model, what makes this different than anything else. In Part 4, we're going to talk about what is a Bisley, what does that mean? What is it different to, what are my options other than Bisley? So we have a lot of things to do here, and I'm trying to make each one of these videos not very long. So stay tuned for Part 2 and Part 3 and Part 4. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you like this revolver as much as I do. I would say I wish I had a bunch of these in my shop ready for sale. I don't. This is the only one that I've been able to get so far. Like I said, I'm 99.9% sure this is going to make its way to my collection because I have a similar revolver to it. They made 2 or 3 in this series, the Bisley series, flat tops. This one happens to be in 44 special caliber. They made another one in 45 long Colt caliber, and I have yet to acquire that, but I will be acquiring one as soon as I possibly can, just to finish this off. The 41 Magnum, the Blackhawk rather, the Blackhawk is still in production. There are going to be people out there that tells you that it's not, simply because they've been hard to come by. They are in production. Different shipments of them come all the time. I see different calibers, blued or stainless, come in at various times for my various distributors. So the Blackhawk is still in production. Ruger makes several different single action revolvers. The Blackhawk, the single 6, which is the rimfire version, the 22 and 22 Magnum. At one point, they made one in 17. That's not in production anymore. They make the Wrangler, which is the 22 long rifle, which is the less expensive version of the single 6. And they make a Super Wrangler, which is the Wrangler made a little stronger so it can accommodate 22 Magnum, and it comes with both a 22 long rifle and a 22 Magnum cylinder. I also have one of those, and I may address that in a different video. So Ruger makes a variety of single action revolvers. They are still in production. They are coming out. So if you're really looking for one and you can't find it, just hold your horses. Keep your eyes peeled because they are out there. I mean, if you can't find it, give me ping me, and I'll see if I can get a hold of one for you. I like Ruger a lot for a lot of different reasons. I like single actions for a lot of different reasons. And I appreciate the Ruger's continuing this on. Of course, all this came about. It was kind of a continuation of the Colt single action army, which actually Colt took out of production 2 or 3 times and brought it back. And then they put it out of production and then they bring it back. Colt has a hard time remembering, what's a good thing sometimes. Ruger has been making the single 6 and the Blackhawk ever since the 50s. So it's been in production for quite a long time, and I don't anticipate it changing. So, all right, that's all I got on the Ruger Blackhawk. That's just a general introductory video. Kind of shows you what it comes with and what it is. It's a firearm that I recommend heartily, and I'm looking forward to having one personally and shooting it, seeing how it goes. Thank you for watching this one. Like I said, keep in mind we got parts 2, 3, and 4 at least of this series coming up soon. Until then, when we talk about what we're going to talk about the next time, what is 41 Magnum? That's right. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe to these videos if you haven't already. There's a button up there somewhere. I appreciate it. The more subscribers I have, the better off I am. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing it. It's all free. So it's just something I'm doing because I think somebody might enjoy it. Pass it along to somebody if you know somebody that might want to see it. If you have any comments or questions, please comment below. I'll do my best to get back to you. You can ping me on my website, redrootdefense.com. I'll be happy to answer you back. If you're looking for something in particular or just have a question or whatever, feel free to give me a holler. So thanks for watching. Until next time, y'all stay safe.